Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Brent McGrath, and I'm the host of Talks and Discussions, What Matters and What Doesn't Matter. And today we have a young man from Cancun. His name is Oscar Garza. How are you doing, Oscar?
I'm all right. Thank you, Brent. Thanks for the invitation. And hi to everyone that's watching the video.
Oscar is a co-founder and CEO of Journey Sports. So, Oscar, can you tell us a bit about yourself and give us a little bit of background?
Yeah, of course. So, well, as you said, I'm Oscar Garza. I have been doing sports all of my life. First, I was introduced to sports as a Taekwondo athlete. Then I became a national champion in fencing. From fencing, I represented the country. Then I went back, circled back to Taekwondo. And then while I was doing law school, I went into mountaineering in Mexico City because I was born in Cancun. So, I've been always keen to this kind of like a niche kind of sports, not like the normal thing.
Yeah.
And well, what else can I say? Of course, I'm a lawyer, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Journey Sports, which is an InsureTech platform to help athletes get insured, against accidents.
Okay, well, that's quite the resume for God's sake. I didn't know you did that many sports, but that's great. Insurance isn't talked about in Mexico that much. What's your opinion about that?
Well, you're completely right. The thing is that insurance is not a common thing in Mexico. A lot of people believe that actually, insurance is this boring thing that boring people do, and there's a lot of stigma to the industry. Right. And actually, perhaps I was participating in that stigma before actually getting into this startup. The thing is that the vast majority of Mexicans don't have any insurance. Normally, when I tell this to Americans or Canadians or Europeans, they go like, what? Yeah, like only 4% of Mexicans have healthcare insurance.
That's amazing.
96% of them don't. And only 25% of Mexicans have any kind of insurance, like whatever whatsoever, car, credit, like mortgage and whatever thing. So the vast majority of Mexicans don't have any type of security when it comes to financial risks. We're all involved in risk, and insurance industries, they're like a financial solution to the imprevisibility. I don't know if that's a word in English, but to the, to the hardships of life. Right. So a lot of people believe or think that is due to culture. I completely refuse to think that. I do believe that we have some like archaic legal system and some products that are not really made for the vast majority of Mexicans. Okay. 80% of Mexicans made for $400 or less a month per family. So yeah, 80% of the Mexican family don't have enough money to buy these like really expensive and high-end healthcare systems. But we are part of like Journey Sports. My startup is part of this new industry that's called InsureTech. And the whole thing is to try to get technology in order to lower the cost of insurance and, lower the barrier to entry for people to have more financial stability in their lives.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about that. So if you want, can make more questions on that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about is InsureTech, but I understood from we talked before, unless I misunderstood, InsureTech is for athletes or it's for anybody?
No, it's for anybody. So like InsureTech, it's the industry. It's insurance and technology, therefore InsureTech. So InsureTech, it's any kind of business process or innovation that gets new technologies involved in the value chain of any insurance company or any insurance product. And to make this like to summarize this, the insurance value chain consists mainly of 4 points. First is subscription, actually creating an insurance product, and then getting people signed into this insurance product, which has its like little things, because you cannot make an insurance product that only cover one person's need. You need something that has a broad range of persons that get covered within it, because insurance at the end of the day is a financial way of getting, of raising money from the public in exchange for, hedging the risk. So Subscription has a lot of things today. A lot of InsurTech companies innovate on the subscription sector on the modeling of the information. So if you get better data, you can understand better the risk, and you can make better predictive models in order to, get the primes more accordingly to the risk and be more competitive.
Okay.
So that's one side. The second step on the value chain is distribution. So
Right.
you actually need to sell this, and you need to sell it to a lot of people. Traditionally speaking, insurance distribution is done through agents. These kind of people that you sit with them, go to their office, they hear your needs, they offer something that's custom for you within all the like insurance companies menus or like offerings, and then the client will choose that. In InsureTech, we normally try to digitize and make completely online the distribution process in order to make it more massive. So perhaps, regular insurance like health or car might not be the best for distribution. But there are a lot of InsureTechs that actually are in like health and life and cars and this kind of thing. But the beautiful thing about online distribution is that you can lower the cost of actually, getting one customer. And this you can translate the savings onto the customer, so you can make the whole process more efficient. Now the third step on the value chain is the actual claims. So not everyone will have an accident, but the ones that do will claim the insurance. And there's a lot to improve in the claim side of things. So how you actually contact the insurance carriers, how they handle the data or data, how they help you to get your money back, or the service that they promised to you in the insurance contract. This all kind of things to make more efficient claims is like the main thing for InsureTech companies. And the last part is, service for clients, customer experience. The customer experience side is really important because the vast majority of your clients will not have any injury or, claimable events.
Yeah.
And therefore, the normal status quo thing right now for clients of insurance company is that only you hear from your insurance carrier once every year when they need to charge you back.
Yeah.
So that was like the old way of thinking. Now there's a whole new thing. Like I can add you a lot more value. Like for example, in Journey Sports, we have 4,000 athletes insured, and we've only managed to handle 88 claims because not everyone will get injured doing sports.
Right.
So with the other 3,912 athletes that have not been injured, we actually provide a lot of content to them in order to help them not get injured. We have a lot of doctors, we have a lot of nutritionists, a lot of physicians that will actually write blogs or produce videos on this kind of content in order to teach them, hey, if you actually do this warm up, you will prevent these kind of injuries. Hey, if you drink water in this certain way while doing sports, you will prevent X and Y. And that's really good because most athletes don't really want to get injured.
Right.
If you get injured, you're not doing sports, and we all love doing sports.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it all. But yeah, so there's a lot of companies that and a lot of technologies that are involved in this new insurance revolution. We are using AI, big data, new distribution methods through online marketing, a broad range of new technologies that will allow for a lot of people, at least here in Mexico and Latin America, perhaps Africa and the Middle East, that will allow for a lot of people that previously were not covered by the traditional insurance carriers or the traditional insurance business model to be actually covered and be financially hedged against the risk.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Your startup is called Journey Sports, right? And that's a part of InsureTech.
Yeah, exactly. So my startup in particular, we do insurance, but only for athletes. The only thing we make is accident insurance for athletes. So it's kind of common sense that if you are doing any kind of sport, soccer, basketball, football, whatever kind of sport you do, you are in the risk of getting injured. I mean, I know this too well. I got I got out of professional, well, not professional, but competitive sport in
Mm-hmm.
2015 because I got my jaw broken in the New York Taekwondo Championship,
Right.
the New York Open. And I mean, it was quite something. I had to travel back from New York to Mexico with my jaw broken. The
Mm-hmm.
insurance product, the insurance service was awful. It was hell. And, I was like, what, 23 years old?
Right.
No, 22 years old. And it was actual hell to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
So, once I became a lawyer, I got some experience in development banking. I learned about insurance and get into this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I talked with one of my friends, and he was like, "Hey, let's make a startup. No, we have good business ideas. Let's do something." And I was like, "Well, I kind of have this idea because I had this awful experience."
Right.
And from there, yeah, we developed this thing, and our insurance solutions are like super cheap. We're calling in the industry micro insurance. So
Okay.
we charge, for example, a boxer. We will all agree that boxing is kind of a dangerous sport. The main goal of the sport is being hit in the head.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a lot of contusion concussion possibilities, or
Yeah.
you can break your hands while
Mm-hmm.
actually hitting someone's face. So our boxing insurance costs $40 a year. So
That's
it's
nice. Okay.
quite cheap.
Yeah.
Vast majority of Mexicans can actually pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we provide a lot of flexibility to the athletes. Like, hey, do you want to cover for $2,500, $5,000, $10,000? What's the timetable you want to cover? The whole year, a month, one day?
Right.
And this way, the vast majority of like athletes, organizations, clubs, gyms, everyone that's involved in boxing sport can get a product that actually works for them. And
Right.
then on the other side, when someone actually gets injured, that it will eventually happen, someone will get injured.
Yeah.
We provide all the support for these people. So we're right now programming a chatbot,
Okay.
artificial intelligence to just like, hey, got injured. Someone sends a WhatsApp. The chatbot actually just replies to the person and sends him
Mm-hmm.
right to the hospital for
Yeah.
valorization and for direct payment.
Yeah.
Most of insurance in Mexico work by reimbursement,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yes.
not really good because since vast majority of Mexicans don't really have that much money to begin with,
Right.
they don't have $5,000 to pay the hospital and then get the money back. So that it's not a possibility for them. So we normally work with direct payment, and this is beautiful for us because it also helps us prevent
Right.
fraudulent claims from the
Yeah.
client side. And yeah, I mean, we're a really niche solution, but for a broad audience. Like we have 48 million athletes in Mexico.
Oh, yes.
Half of them, 24 million, are in organized sports. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with this, I mean like gyms, clubs, federations, associations, and sport institutions, and all these kind of people that you can go through B2B market channels.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, it's quite fun. We get to help a lot of athletes, and that really makes me happy, because I really wish when I was a competing athlete
Mm-hmm.
that I had something like this covering me. And well, of course, I do now. At least I'm into free diving. I cannot do more combat sports, but I do free diving, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm covered for that. And a lot of people, when they told me like, "Oh, you have insurance for free diving," it's like, "Yeah, it's my company insurance. We cover 120 sports. We cover everything."
Yeah. Usually the big insurance that you pay for, the more expensive, doesn't cover extreme sports, correct? So
No,
then,
no.
so if something happens, you don't have coverage.
Yeah, and I mean, experienced that while doing mountaineering in Mexico City. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have no accident, but a friend of mine actually broke his leg. We had to carry him down the mountain.
Right.
Whole thing, because people don't believe that there's like big mountains in Mexico, but our peaks are like 15,000 feet tall, like
Mm-hmm.
5,000 meters tall, and I
Oh,
mean
yeah.
they have glaciers and everything.
Yeah.
It's quite tall. And yeah, carrying him back down and doing the whole thing. His insurance company didn't cover him because he was doing mountaineering, and of course,
Yeah.
not like your general health insurance is for if you get sick. It's not for doing mountaineering or skydiving or free
No.
diving. It's not for action sports.
So does that?
Even if you get it for your particular like more normal sport, you
Right.
should people normally pay something called extra prime. That's like the $150 extra fee for actually covering your sport.
Oh, that's neat. So that means if I worked for a company and I have insurance from them that covers my sickness, but I'm into extreme sports, I can come to you and get more insurance and then go
Yeah,
out and do my extreme sports, and
exactly.
hopefully I'd be okay.
Yeah, well, hopefully. But the cool thing is that, yeah, like you wouldn't use your health insurance for a car accident.
No.
You have car insurance for car
Hmm.
related things. You
Right.
have health insurance for, health related things. And our idea and the thing we're trying to introduce to the market is
Hmm.
you have sport insurance for sport related things.
Yeah, that
So
makes
this is the niche solution for these kind of things. Not everyone does sport. Not everyone is into competitive sport. Not everyone cares, but a lot of people do, and that's our market.
so. Is InsureTech or your startup is this only in Mexico or is this in other countries already?
So currently we are only on Mexico. I mean, but we are quite new. We started this service on March last year, and
Okay.
we had to endure the whole quarantine without almost no sales because, well, no one is buying sport insurance when they're not doing sports, are they?
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, we actually managed to survive the quarantine, which was hell for us.
Hmm.
And now we are starting to grow and to get a lot of customers. So this year will be to compensate the last year that was last year.
Hmm.
And next year we do plan to make some like key strategic expansions to Latin America. Let's
Hmm.
not forget that insurance is a really regulated sector, that
Okay.
every country has its own regulation. So you
Hmm.
cannot just like it's not like I don't know, Facebook, that you create a social network. Now everyone can get into Facebook and that's it. There's like no regulation to it. No, like
Right.
if you want to create a insurance solution in Chile, to
Hmm.
provide any example whatsoever, yeah,
Yeah.
you need to follow Chilean rules of
Right.
insurance. And it's not impossible once you have like the modeling of the risk.
Hmm.
Once you understand, oh, this kind of sport has this type of accidents, at this type of accidents are worth this much in Chile, you can
Okay.
actually provide the design of the product to the insurance carriers in Chile. They'll
Hmm.
subscribe your insurance policy,
Yeah.
and then you can get to sale, and that's it.
Okay.
So it's not impossible, but yeah, it's a little bit expensive in the side of expansion, and we'd rather just like really cement the Mexican market
Yeah.
before going to other markets.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you said you had 25 million athletes in Mexico total, or 48 million. I couldn't remember
48
that.
million total, 24 million in organized sports. The
Yeah. So
rest, they just like go out for a jog or something like that.
you have a lot of people to insure here, right in Mexico. So you have a big job ahead of you.
I mean, like if only we can get like a 4% of the
Mhm.
market, just 4%, that's 1 million athletes.
Yeah.
Let's remember that 96% of the whole market, it's not insured. So it's a
Right.
beautiful blue ocean.
Hmm.
And as a blue ocean, of course, you have, pros and cons like everything in life. The
Right.
pro is you're not really competing against much.
Hmm.
And the con is that you need to teach the audience what this thing is, how do they eat it, how do they hire it, why do they need it.
Right.
And yeah, there's a lot of but this process of actually teaching the audience is beautiful.
Hmm.
And we're providing a lot of security to a lot of families that otherwise might not be able to have this level of safety while doing sports.
That's true, because safety is a big concern in Mexico for lots of different things. But it'd be nice that you know that if you go out and do a sport and you get injured, at least you have something to take care of you when something like that happens.
Yeah, exactly. You're covered. Like don't even sweat it. You're covered.
Well, thank you very much, Oscar. I'm really glad that we talked about this because I think this is a very important issue in Mexico, and eventually it'll be in Latin America and around the world. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the dream. First Mexico, then Latin America. If we might be able to like dream big, perhaps even the United States or Europe, who knows? But yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that most athletes in any country probably need a lot of help in different areas, especially in insurance.
Well, Brent, thanks a lot for the interview, and thanks for the audience for staying this long.
Okay, take care of yourself.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.